Howdy folks, good day to you. Welcome back. Glad you guys are here. This is a bonus shoot type of video. It is the end of day. Dave and my wife unit have left and gone home for the evening. I'm going to stick around for a little bit of time because I have a goal to get this this explosion of a project kind of completed, or at least make some progress towards it. This all started a couple weeks ago when I decided it was going to be a good idea to reupholster my headliner, and after I had learned that I had to pull the seats out in order to get the headliner out of the vehicle. Since I had to pull the seats out, I was like, hey, I have a brand new box of carpet, which is in the back of the truck. I have a brand new box of carpet. Let's pull the carpet out and change out that carpet while the seats are out. Well, after I pulled the carpet out, I realized that the insulation under the carpet was absolutely nasty and destroyed and gross, and it stunk really bad. Additionally, some of the insulation that was foam backed that had rubber, I had found that the rubber was disintegrating and turning into powder. Therefore, I wasn't comfortable with putting new carpet on top of destroyed insulation. And I figured since I was going to pull the insulation out, I was going to have to pull the dash out. And since I had to pull the dash out, I was going to pull the HVAC box out, because the evaporator has had some kind of a clog or restriction in it for well over a year, and it's been causing me to have poor AC cooling system performance. So this project has sort of snowballed into a restoration project rather than a repair project. I've been putting in some new sound and heat insulating insulation, and I'm waiting for a little bit more of this material to show up that's actually thicker, that I can use for the firewall section. Once that is in place, I can then work on getting this HVAC box back installed on the firewall. However, at 230,000 miles, I don't feel I should just be putting this box back in as it is. So I'm going to rebuild this box as best I can while it's out. What that means is I need to blow all the dirt out of it. I'm going to replace all these actuator motors because these are very hard to get to. Those are going to be changed. We're going to check on the condition of these foam seals, and those are not really looking that good. So I may replace this foam while I'm here. I have over here in some boxes a replacement heater core. That's this unit right here, little miniature radiator. And I have the AC evaporator right down here. So what we're going to do today on this little bonus video is I'm going to get this unit up on the bench, and we're going to disassemble this HVAC box and get the cooling system cores out of it, reassemble it, put it back together, and then it'll be prepped and ready to be reinstalled. So stay tuned, because this is going to be a very good video. Opening the hood.
Oh, look who that guy is.
Well, first off, I need to deal with the unpleasant portion of this first, and that's going to be decrustifying all of this buildup and debris and dust and grass and leaves and whatever else is in there. So we're just going to blow that off with the air gun. It's going to make a little bit of noise. We're going to get it preliminarily cleaned, and then we can start disassembly. Loud noises. Pine needle. Goodbye. Alrighty, so I have not been into one of these HVAC boxes for a very, very long time. This is kind of a rare procedure, and I don't think I've ever done one on a Chevrolet truck. As odd as that sounds, it's just not something that that's really come across me. What I'm getting at is I'm not exactly sure the order of operations here, so we're just going to start taking things apart and see how this works out. Now, we have identified this right here is the heater core. Those are the hoses for it. The evaporator is over here on this other side. So this section here looks like it's some type of like a cover. So we're going to pull this off. I think it's got 5.5mm bolts. I'm going to pull these guys out and see if that's our heater core, or if that's how this core comes out. I'm fairly certain that for the evaporator, I'm going to have to split the case in two Yeah, but for the heater cord, it just looks like it's got a little slot here that you just slide that thing on out. So let's wiggle this guy out of its home. See what we're looking like here. Not too bad, pretty decent, but I did order a new one because this one's been here for 230,000 miles and I don't want it to leak. I would hate to have it leak and ruin my brand new carpet that I have not installed yet. So looking down in the hole, I'm not seeing anything really much to look at in there. There's no debris. So let's move on, take some more panels off. Again, I'm gonna replace probably everything on this. I do have new actuators, so I think I want to start from this side and go that way. Let's remove this area right here. This is the air inlet vent. We have one actuator on a flapper valve right here, and we can select either recirculate mode and draw in air from inside of the cabin, or we can draw in fresh air from outside of the cabin that's usually a little bit of a different temperature. So I like to keep it on recirc mode. It helps to keep things cool. So let's pull this actuator off and then take this door apart. Like I said, I'd like to replace some of these foam sealers and everything on here because they don't appear to be in the best of condition. Okay, we saw the door start to swing. See that? And looks like we've got two more 5.5s right here and right here, and then this whole door section should hinge and come off of there. Let's pull all this stuff apart. Restoration action. Yeah, that foam's not in the greatest condition here. I mean, I guess it works. I'd like to replace the doors, but I don't think that they're available. Regardless, I can at least clean this out really nice and potentially re-foam this. I think I have some foam that's the right dimensions. I'll see what I've got in my inventory. But yeah, look at here. All kinds of dirt and dust and debris. This is our cage for our blower fan, and we've got some wires going on here. So that's not how we need to access the evaporator. So let's give this thing a flip. We're gonna roll it over and see what other bolts and whatnot we can remove. Flip it over. This rubber thing right here, that's the drain for the evaporator. Little drain pipe thing. Okay, got a bunch more bolts around the perimeter. Over here on this side, we are looking at the blower motor and the blower motor resistor. I'm going to disconnect these components right now. Get this stuff out of here. Unclip the clip. It's all getting reused. I'm not replacing the blower or the resistor. These are fairly easy to access. So I am going to pull all this stuff off for cleaning and inspection. A little bit of corrosion in there. It's not okay. It's not horrible, but it's not the greatest. And I think this motor, just rotate it. There we go. Pick up the tab, rotate it, and it unlocks. That's our blower motor fan cage. And yeah, that thing's loaded full of dust and dirt and debris. It made like a vibration while running, and clearly it's out of balance with all that dirt buildup. So we're gonna clean that off later. And going around the perimeter, I'm not seeing too much cause for concern. Let's pull off this piece of the ducting right here. That's gotta go. Looks like we have just one fastener. Wiggle that out. Nothing inside. We'll set this thing off to the corner. Okay, there's another duct over here. 2 bolts. Let's pull this guy off. More foam. Yay! What's this thing do? It's clearly another door, but it doesn't want to move. That's fine. Here, here's some duct work. pull this out of here. And that's attached with a couple sensors. Okay, we have 2 vent temperature sensors in here. Let me unplug these units. That's one side. And here's the other one way over yonder. Okay, set that piece of plastic aside. I see more doors. Yeah, that still does not move. Oh, how do we get this thing to come apart? Da-da-da. There's plastic, looks like plastic rivet type of things in here. I may have to drill this out. Ruh-roh. Okay, so not certain exactly how this goes, but it appears that we have some fasteners that support or attach the 2 halves of this unit, but then it also appears that these are plastic welded in. So I may have to source some fasteners, because there are holes for bolts here, but they just were never installed. Probably a cost-saving measure. So I'm gonna have to drill those holes out, these rivets here, and then use those bolt holes with some screws to reassemble this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish disassembling the actuators. Let's get these guys disconnected. There's that one there. Go ahead and detach this, because this one is secured to both halves, I think. And if it's not, then I'll deal with that in a minute. Why are you not fitting? Oh, wrong size. Wrong socket. It's the 5.5 millimeter. Pull you out, and then this actuator can come free. How's this work? Like that. Okay, we'll leave you there for now, then we'll leave the big cam. We'll let that kind of just dangle for right now. Okay, so let's go around and lose all of our small bolts, the ones that are in there, and then we'll get the drill. Pull all this stuff apart. There is a modification where you can cut like this box out and then just kind of glue it back together in order to avoid separating these 2 halves. I'm not going to cut my box open, so we're not doing that. We're just going to unbolt it and then lose the drill, or use the drill, and then re-rivet it or something like that. Okay, I think that's all the bolts that are in it. Pull that one out. One more over here. Come here, lost bolt. To the pile with you. Let's start with these holes here. And then we'll try to drill the top of this out without going too deep. And then we'll get like a screwdriver under there and then break off whatever plastic is left holding on to the 2 halves here. There we go. Let's get under that with a pocket screwdriver and try to pry these 2 pieces apart. Yeah, did you hear that crack? That's the plastic, whatever was left, breaking away. So this is effective. We just have to kind of keep at it, continue to drill these guys out, break them loose, and separate these 2 halves. Yep, see that? Now we're getting some motion out of it. Let's keep on going down the line here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about this, because if I drill too much or do this wrong, I can potentially ruin this whole box. Because if I can't get it to go back together, I'm gonna have a problem if not drilled enough. I wonder if a larger drill bit would be more beneficial here. Larger diameter. Give it a pull. There we go. That one cracked loose. Okay. So I think if a little bit of light drilling action. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of light drilling and some prying should open this up. Yep, that one popped loose. This one not so much. Okay, now we're loose. So that's this whole side. Let's take this whole box, flip it around, and we can drill the back side here. Drill bit gravity. There we go. There's no hole there. One over here. And I think there's like one or two over here. Getting closer. Oh yeah, it's all apart, I think. Maybe one or two on this other side. Yep, they just popped and snapped. The case is now separated. Here we go. That's what we're looking for. This thing apart. Yeah, that's not the greatest in there. Pretty dirty. Look at all that buildup. Okay, this thing needs a good garden hose job, and maybe I can put some new foam on these. I don't know. Anyway, that's our affected unit. That is the AC evaporator. Let's pull off the little shield here. Set this guy down out of the way for now. And we need to pluck this unit out. I want to check it for clogs here. And if I don't have any that go through, I'm going to have to assume it's clogged internally. But I know that this AC system had a pressure problem of some sort. Let's wiggle this guy out. And let's see if we can't see light through this unit. Yeah, not really. Oh, yeah, I see some light coming through, but it's not the greatest. Let me try the flashlight here. Some flashlight on the back side. Yeah, I see a lot of obstruction in there. A lot of dirt, buildup, things of that nature. Very inefficient unit. So it's partially restricted here for the airflow, and I don't know if we have a restriction in the actual internals. It's possible. I've tried to flush this out before, but to no avail. Either way, this is what we were looking for. So what I need to do next is set that aside. I'm going to take this down, blow everything out, clean it up, blow gun. Okay, so we did a bit of housekeeping on this. We've got it all wiped down, cleaned out, took all the panels off of it, got as much of the dirt removed as possible. I inspected all the foam seals inside, and I've elected to not touch these. Yes, I could use some insulation that I have and take this all off and cut new stuff, but I think that what's going on here is better than what I could do. There's no indicator that any of these foams are coming apart, so I'm just going to leave those alone. So next on our list is, well, I guess it's time to get the evaporator back in position. Now this one has some kind of a holder with this little bracket thing that goes on there, so I'm going to have to reuse this unit. Peel that off, and I need to clean that thing off too, and then the old unit can just get set aside. Let's go ahead and match this up though, and make sure that this is the correct component. I'd hate to go through all this and then have to find out it's the wrong one. It appears to be the correct size, shape, and dimensions. Big port, small port, big port, small port. So that confirms this is the correct evaporator. Now we just need to get it down inside of its home here after I spray all this nasty stuff off of this little bracket deal right here. Alrighty, I have the seal set up on the new evaporator, and now we just need to walk this thing down into its case, rock it in, and set that guy down into position just like so. So that's the new evaporator. It's in half of the case, and this is our seal. I think it went on like that. Yeah, we'll put that on in a minute. Do that later. Ooh, more broken plastic stuff. Okay, put the seal aside. Let's grab the other half, set that one on, hook up that piece of linkage, and then get this thing bolted back down. Second half of the case coming in. Evaporator's in position. We have to mine this piece of linkage and feed it through this little hole here. But other than that, pretty straightforward. We just set her right on down in position, lining up that piece of linkage over there. seems to be lining up and going back right where it's supposed to be. So all we need to do is run some screws into those holes there, and that thing's back together. After that, we'll change out the actuators, run the wiring harness, and then get all the other little miscellaneous pieces put back on. Okay, fasteners coming in. Got a box of generic stuff in the corner. Just used what I had, wrong size. Switch that back out to the 1/4 inch. Torque achieved. I'm just going to run around the perimeter, and everywhere where there was that plastic little weld, we run in a screw. So far so good. I like it. It's working out. All right, we're coming up on heater core time. So there's our old unit and the new heater core. Again, these were GM part numbers, original equipment. Let's start transferring some seals over. Let's get this piece of foam, out foam. Swap that over onto our new one. Slide that on right there. Now, we can see all this foam around this heater core. I have to replace that with this piece of foam that they gave us. So, looks like I just need to just wrap it around the perimeter. I guess I'll start right here at the top and just move it around. Sure. So, yep, that's adhesive backed. Let's put the piece right in there. And I'll walk it all the way around the perimeter. Stick it on right there. A little bit more around the other side. I see a lot going on here. Again, another job bigger than I thought it was going to be. Foam, foam, foam all the way around. And we're going to close it off right there with I guess a little extra. I'll just leave it there and smash it down. Okay, so we have our foam all around the perimeter. I'm not sure what to do about this little piece of foam here in the middle. I don't think we need it. I'm not going to use it. Set that aside now. We take our core and slide it down into the case. That's a tight squeeze with that piece of foam in there. Go, slide it down. There are some tracks that this is riding in, guiding it into position. And I think we're good right there. Now we can put the lid back on and bolt that section down. All right, that thing's in position. Let's get the fasteners fastened. There's 3 of them, I believe. Good. Okay, lid is on, heater core installation is now complete. All right, let's move this unit on over and we can set up the intake scoop. It's got 2 little tabs here that tab into those tabs, and then it sort of hinges down and then screws in. So let's take that guy, get you set up right there. 2 screws. I'm going through what I know because I forgot the way that the wire harness goes. So I'm gonna get all the pieces on, change out the actuators with the new ones, and then see how those wires are supposed to run. We can figure it out. Okay, so that is our recirculation door. And I believe that it has an actuator somewhere. Oh yeah, right over here. That's where the actuator screws in, that side. Okay, let's rotate this thing some so we can get a good line of sight on it. We've got 1 actuator here. This is one of the new units. We're gonna slide that over the little hinge piece right there and then snap that into position. So that door is now stationary, it cannot move. We've got 2 more fasteners, 1 here and 1 here. Where's my my tool. Whoa, almost lost it. There we go, that guy's on. Was that 3 fasteners or 2? Looks like just 2. Okay, that thing's set up. Let's flip the box over and let's see, we can go ahead and put the foam seal on this side. That goes right over that, just like so. Now, let's go ahead and get the blower motor reinstalled. Slips it down like so, and then we rotate to lock it in. That goes there. Our resistor comes in next, and again, 2 more fasteners. Starting to run low on fasteners. Good. All right, resistor's installed. We can plug the motor back in. That's good. Let's get the rest of the actuators set up. We've got one right here. That's one of the older ones. So we're going to pull that actuator off. Wiggle, wiggle, yeah. New actuator coming in. GM part, but it says made in Korea. Line that guy up, 2 more bolts. I'm assuming that's South Korea. I don't think North Korea exports very much. Okay, 2 actuators changed out. Good time to flip it again. We have another actuator here on the far side. This also comes with some linkage. The linkage stays, actuator mounts onto it. So let's see how we do this here. Backwards. We do it backwards. There we go. That one's in position. 2 more screws again, which I'm running low on screws. Set that down, find those other screws. Get that one in. That one. Numero uno and numero dos. Entering the home stretch now. We're getting somewhere, guys. Definitely getting somewhere. Stay. All right, next up we've got one piece of vent. That guy's gonna settle down right over top of this vent area. I think this is the deflector for the side vents, maybe? Could be for the floor. I don't know. Keep flipping this thing over so often I become disoriented. But it has 1 screw that retains it. Then there's another vent piece that goes on over here. Vent clickage. Next piece coming in. I believe that's going to slide over this component, and then it's going to screw in right here. So this right here is a point of potential improvement. So what I'm going to do is, since that's a little loose fitting, I'm going to put some tape on it. Seal it up nice like. Clicks. Yeah, see, that's just kind of floppy right there. I'm going to put tape around that. We have some aluminized insulating tape for HVAC systems. It's not for automotive HVAC systems, but it will work, because all it has to do is create some kind of an air seal so we don't get any leakage. Let's see here. Get up under there like that, pull it kind of tight, wrap it around. I don't know if I'm going to do 1 course of this or 2 courses. Probably overkill whatever I do, but this whole project is massive overkill. Yeah, I think I'll do 2 courses. So let's cut this right about here. and then do one more wrap around. Here we go. Pull that tape back and reaching down, pull it on through. There's a sensor right down there. I've got to watch out for that, but I think we're good. We'll finish that off right here like so. Okay, that's nice and sealed up. Good to go. In the same location, we've got one more little vent device. I think it points this way, yeah, because it can't go on that way. All right, 2 screws on this unit. Clickage, plastic clickage. Thread. It's getting late, a little tired. I said earlier I was going to spend like an hour on this tonight. I'm coming up on hour number 2, I think. Anyway, let's flip it over. We've got one more actuator to go, and then I'd like to reroute the wires and whatnot and go from there. That's our last actuator. And as a way to not get lost, I left that last one attached to one of the or to the harness. So now all I have to do is get this actuator set up properly and then make sure that this harness goes where it's supposed to, which I've got a couple guides here. There's this piece. This actuator is going to plug in right there. Okay, so we're going to go this way with it. Figuring this out. Bear with me here. I'm actually going to mock this up some, and then once it's mocked up properly and I know where everything goes, I'm going to retape all these wires right here because they're kind of ugly and I don't like them. I would like to have nice clean wires. All right, I think we're good. I've got it figured out. They're all draped over properly and they appear to be form-fitting correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this old actuator, set it aside, get the new one in position, make sure all that's clocked properly. There we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab some tape real fast and I'm gonna begin to tape all these up with some better looking tape that's not the rubberized electric tape. I don't like the rubber tape. It gets all sticky and gross. I prefer to use the foam tape, so the cloth tape rather. So I'm gonna tape this up real fast and then we can bolt the rest of the stuff down and get it all secured and we'll be all set. Okay, that's all in good condition. Let's just squeeze the tape down some. Need to finish it off a little bit on this one section right here. Actually, I'm gonna start from the connector side and work my way down. We'll do that. A little bit more tape just to make it nice and pretty and uniform. One more wrap and then through the middle of the Y and then around like so. This is the thick part of the wire, so there should be enough surface area to make that final piece bond very well. That's good. And we squeeze it, bond it, just like so. Now, this guy is going to go here as it plugs into our actuator. And then the actuator sits right here in its home. Let's get that thing set up. I need to tape up that right there as well. That one's got me. Let's peel that guy out. And this harness is supposed to sit here, so I'm going to tape that on right there. There's no reason to not go this deep into this project considering how far we've come. I know a lot of folks are like, why would you do this and spend all this time on this old truck and blah blah blah, but that's what I'm doing, and it's my truck and I'm not buying a new one because new ones are expensive and I'm cheap. It's good for now. We need to tighten down this actuator, I think. It's flippy flopping everywhere, causing a problem. Okay. 2 more screws. These are, I think, the last of them. Again, they're 5.5 millimeter. Hey, does anybody know why the 5.5 exists? Because standard sizes don't match up to it. And it's not a 5 and it's not a 6. Just wondering why we have a 5.5 millimeter socket. A little curious. There we go, plug that guy in right there. That's all set. Very nice. Alrighty, so I have spent about 45 minutes getting all these wires put back into position here. They are routed down and around and through like tying your shoe properly. These ones on this side of those are ready to plug into the fuse box. This one is the ground that goes on the firewall. We've got our evaporator. We've got our heater core sealed up, a small looking leak right there. Temp sensors are plugged in, actuator plugged in, this temp sensor is plugged in. Everybody's plugged in, so I do believe that this section of this particular repair is all set and ready to roll. So having said all that, I have nothing more to offer you on this particular video except for a thank you for watching this video. Certainly hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this, please let me know in the comment section down below. Do not forget to tap that like button while you're down there. And most importantly, have yourselves a fantastic day. See you guys later in the video. End of Chevrolet dashboard. End of transmission.